When we think of British food, what comes to mind? Fish and chips, maybe? Or a Sunday roast with Yorkshire pudding? British cuisine has often been unfairly stereotyped as bland and boring, but trust me, there's so much more to discover. British food has a long and fascinating history, shaped by its geography, its people, and its interactions with other cultures. From the hearty stews and pies of the countryside to the fresh seafood dishes of the coast, British cuisine offers a diverse range of flavors and ingredients. We've got rolling hills, perfect for raising cattle and sheep, providing us with succulent meats for our Sunday roasts. Our coastline is teeming with fish, making dishes like fish and chips a national treasure. But it's not just about the ingredients, it's about the traditions and stories behind each dish. Think of Sunday roasts, a time for families to gather and share a meal, or the warm feeling of biting into a perfectly fried fish and chips on a chilly day by the sea. These are the experiences that make British food so special. So, come along with me on this delicious journey as we delve into the heart of British cuisine, exploring its rich history, its iconic dishes, its regional variations, and its exciting evolution in the modern culinary world. Get ready to ditch the stereotypes and discover the true flavors of Britain. Let's be honest, no exploration of British food would be complete without a trip to the pub. Pubs are the beating heart of British culture, and their food is an integral part of that experience. Forget fancy gastropubs for a moment. I'm talking about proper, traditional pub grub that warms you from the inside out. First up, the undisputed kingfish and chips. Crispy, beer-battered fish, fluffy chips piled high, all doused in salt and vinegar. It's a classic for a reason, and don't forget the mushy peas, a side dish that divides opinion but holds a special place in the hearts of many Brits. Then there's the Sunday roast. A true institution. Imagine a plate piled high with roast beef or chicken, crispy roast potatoes, fluffy Yorkshire puddings, and all the trimmings, gravy, vegetables, and maybe even a cheeky Yorkshire pudding wrap. It's the kind of meal that makes you want to loosen your belt and settle into a food coma. And let's not forget other pub grub heroes like bangers and mash, sausages and mashed potatoes with onion gravy. Steak and ale pie and ploughman's lunch, a hearty platter of cheese, bread and pickles. These dishes are all about simple, honest flavors and satisfying your hunger after a long day. While classics like fish and chips are loved nationwide, British cuisine is also a tapestry of regional specialties, each with its unique character and flavors. Up north in Scotland, you'll find hearty dishes like haggis, neeps and tatties, haggis with mashed turnips and potatoes, and warming bowls of cock-a-leekie soup. Venture to Wales and you'll be greeted by Welsh rarebit, a cheesy toast dish that's perfect for a comforting snack. Don't leave without trying Welsh cakes, small round griddle cakes dusted with sugar, best enjoyed warm from the bakery. Head down south to Cornwall and you'll find the iconic Cornish pasty, a pastry filled with beef, potato and swede, originally created as a portable lunch for miners. And no trip to the southwest would be complete without indulging in a cream tea, scones piled high with clotted cream and jam. Just remember, the Devon way is cream first, jam on top. These are just a few examples of the incredible regional diversity that British cuisine has to offer. Each region has its own unique culinary identity, shaped by its history, its landscape, and its local produce. British cuisine has always been influenced by other cultures, reflecting the country's long history of trade and immigration. Over the centuries, flavors and ingredients from all over the world have made their way into British kitchens, adding new dimensions to traditional dishes and inspiring exciting culinary fusions. Think of the impact of Indian cuisine, which arrived in Britain during the colonial era and has become a beloved part of British food culture. From chicken tikka masala, often dubbed Britain's national dish, to the countless curry houses found in every town and city, Indian flavors have truly been embraced. But it's not just Indian food. Chinese, Italian, Caribbean, and Middle Eastern cuisines have all left their mark, introducing new ingredients, spices, and cooking techniques to the British culinary landscape. You'll find influences from all over the world in modern British restaurants, reflecting the country's increasingly diverse palate and its openness to new flavors. Section 5. From bland to grand, the evolution of British food. For many years, British food had a bit of a reputation for being, well, a bit bland. But those days are long gone. Over the past few decades, there's been a real food revolution in Britain. Chefs have rediscovered traditional ingredients and techniques, while also embracing global influences and experimenting with new and innovative flavor combinations. There's a new focus on using fresh, seasonal produce, with many chefs championing local farmers and producers. Farm-to-table dining has become increasingly popular, with restaurants taking pride in sourcing their ingredients ethically and sustainably. This culinary renaissance has transformed the British food scene, from casual pubs to Michelin-starred restaurants. British food is no longer an afterthought. It's a cuisine to be reckoned with, celebrated for its quality, its diversity, and its creativity. Section 6. My British Food Adventure, a Personal Story. I remember my first experience with real proper British food. I was a young lad travelling around the UK with my family. We'd stopped at a tiny pub in the Cotswolds, a picturesque region known for its rolling hills and charming villages. It was a chilly evening, and the pub was warm and inviting, with a crackling fire and the aroma of something delicious wafting from the kitchen. I ordered the steak and ale pie, not really knowing what to expect. When it arrived, it was a thing of beauty, a golden brown pastry crust encasing tender chunks of beef and a rich, savoury gravy. It was served with a generous portion of creamy mashed potatoes, perfect for soaking up every last drop of that delicious gravy. That meal was a revelation. It wasn't fancy or complicated, but it was utterly satisfying. The kind of food that warms you from the inside out. It taught me that British food is about more than just ingredients. It's about comfort, warmth, and a sense of place. Section 7. Cooking up a storm British food at home. One of the great things about British food is that it's incredibly approachable to cook at home. You don't need to be a Michelin-starred chef to whip up a delicious Sunday roast or a comforting shepherd's pie. Many British dishes are based on simple, hearty ingredients and straightforward techniques, making them perfect for even novice cooks. Start with the classics. Try your hand at fish and chips, experimenting with different batters and types of fish. Master the art of the Sunday roast, learning how to get your roast potatoes crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. And don't be afraid to experiment with regional specialties like a hearty Lancashire hot pot or a flavourful Welsh caul. Cooking British food is all about embracing the joy of simple, honest flavours and creating dishes that bring people together. So gather your friends and family, put on your apron, and get ready to experience the joy of cooking up a storm in the kitchen. Section 8. The future of British cuisine. British cuisine has come a long way from its humble beginnings to its current status as a vibrant and exciting culinary destination. So, what does the future hold for British food? I believe it's a bright one, full of innovation, diversity, and a continued commitment to quality. Young chefs are pushing the boundaries of British cuisine, experimenting with new techniques, incorporating global influences, and championing local and seasonal produce. There's a growing focus on sustainability and ethical sourcing, with chefs and diners alike becoming more conscious of the impact their food choices have on the environment. British food is no longer defined by its past. It's a cuisine that's constantly evolving, embracing new ideas while staying true to its roots. It's a cuisine that's both comforting and exciting, familiar yet full of surprises. Section 9. A celebration of flavours embracing British cuisine. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of British cuisine, from its humble origins to its exciting present and future. It's a cuisine that's often been misunderstood, but one that deserves to be celebrated for its diversity, its heartiness, and its unique place in the world of food. British cuisine is about more than just dishes. It's about sharing a meal with loved ones in a cosy pub, enjoying a picnic in the countryside, or gathering around the table for a Sunday roast. It's about tradition, warmth, and the simple pleasure of good food made with love and enjoyed with gusto. So, ditch the stereotypes, open your mind, and get ready to discover the true flavours of British cuisine. You might just be surprised at what you find.